This is a 4,000 follower page, and they are trying so strongly to push this agenda, this narrative that I'm a bad guy for making this statement, that it's a band-aid fix. Their own community agrees with me. Their own community is so strongly on my side, as you can see by the hundreds of likes on all these different comments, right? They are so strongly on my side, and they all so strongly believe the same thing that I do, that they are defending me. As y'all know, I hyped up Stella Sora before it released. I was very excited for it. I said the game was very fun. I played it at release. I said the game is very fun. They fumbled. I said the game is still very fun. I had my issues with the gacha, the rate of currency acquisition, the rates themselves, but I always said the game is still very fun. I said the game is good. The game, not the monetization. You can have a good game with bad monetization. You can have a bad game with good monetization. They're not mutually exclusive, but I've always said the game was a good game. And then, or at the very least, a fun game. And then they, you know, did a bit of a 180, but we're not here to talk about the 180 they did. I'm here to talk about the fact that there are certain people, certain communities that have attempted to, instead of blaming the parties responsible, okay, they have opted to vilify me. I want nothing more than to do a dedicated video stating the devs listened. I want to say they actually did what was necessary. Okay, when you go through and you look at the tweets that I've made, I've constantly attempted to push what the game needs. I said this is a band-aid fix for a much larger issue. I stated that the address that they made was a great first step, but they needed to change certain aspects. Like I've repeatedly stated time and time again, this is all great, good work. Now you just need to do this, right? So I always back up what I state with fact, with a method with which they can traverse to fix their issues. I'm not just like, yeah, this sucks, you know, fuck that game, piece of shit. No, I'm like, this could fix this, that could fix that. This is what they need to do. This is what players are thinking. This is what players are saying. My goal is to always voice my concerns and the concerns of my community and the community overall, because games, gacha games, you would be able to cover more than this. Once they release a game, you can realistically change the gacha rates anymore at the moment. I mean, yeah, but so gacha games typically tend to have an echo chamber, right? An echo chamber, and within that echo chamber there is an overwhelming sentiment. It's either positive or negative, right? At some point, in some instances, it is toxic positivity. That's never good. There are certain games that are overrun and rampant with toxic positivity. We're not going to talk about toxic positivity or negativity either, but there's always one sentiment that is echoed vigorously within a respective games community. Constructive thinking and potentially contributing to problem solving 2025, you're a brave soul. Hey, someone's got to do it, but by being the someone that does it, you also end up getting some hate from the people that white knight and ardently defend a game. You're one of the channels that I get the truth from. I try, man. I try. I like the honesty on this channel. That's what I'm here for. By the way, if y'all have not already, go ahead and join this Twitter community. This is the fastest growing, best Twitter gacha community on Twitter. You're not going to want to miss out on all the conversations and all the drama that goes on that we cover. So I've been very fair with what I've said. I've offered tons of constructive feedback and criticisms for the game. Never have I said the game is dead. Never have I said the game is going to die. Never have I said the game needs to die. I have never directly stated anything like that, okay? You could go through every video I've done. Never have I insinuated that the game deserves to die, okay? Never. I have always said, and I was also criticized by certain people within the community after I said the following. Let me get this tweet up. Okay, admittedly, I cannot find the tweet. It's one of the tweets I made about Stella Sora. But in that tweet, I went on to state that I don't think we should be attacking the studio. I don't think we should be attacking the game because I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I did that. I said that in my first video as well. I said, I'm going to be lenient with them here. This is the first game they developed. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. People were very vocal about me not doing that. They said, you need to hold them accountable. You can't be lenient. You can't give them any leeway whatsoever. Crucify them. I said I didn't want to do that. I want to give them time to address it, make a statement, an actual formal statement about the situation. I gave Black Beacon a few days too before I made a video covering everything, because I don't want to just day one hop on it and say, you know, this game did this without addressing it. No, I want to give them a few days to actually receive the feedback, come up with a game plan, and try to address it. It took them like over a week, I think, to do that, which is why I did a follow-up video a few days later. But people were very upset that I gave them a few days. So I upset that part of the community, but I don't care. I'm not going to immediately jump a company day one for a fuck up. I'm going to give a company a chance to fix that before I go ahead and crucify them for doing so. You also said give them a week to address it. I did. I'm of the opinion that, you know, you can't make changes overnight. Like big changes like that, you cannot make overnight. You give them time. You voice your concern, your discontent, you be critical about your feedback, but, you know, don't like literally look at my #1 rule here for our community. Don't be a dick, okay? And that's how I like to tackle things. You have to be fair, you do. They did address it. They gave a gift, a bottle. Okay. So with this in mind, there are, there are various different communities. There's this community in specific, right? I was forwarded this community, Stellasaura Philippines, 4,300 members. It's a pretty significant number of players. A pretty significant number of players. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. The reason I was forwarded this community is because of this message right here. This message. This one right here. I made a tweet, 20 hours ago, responding to their tweet stating you're gonna get 12,000, right? 600 Stellanite dust for leveling up your account. That was their statement that they made. That was an address that they made. They didn't state that they were going to adjust the rates. They didn't state they were going to adjust anything or appease any players, right? That was their reply. Here are 12,000 Stellanite dust. You're welcome. I said, this is a band-aid fix for a much larger issue. They could have adjusted the gacha rates and could have had a successful game, or they could provide you with 42 pulls to shut people up. And you know what? That's what they did. That's what they did. Now, I thought stating this was a band-aid fix for a much larger issue was valid, right? Especially when you navigate on over to their Twitter page and you realize, oh, hey, they just announced that a brand new character is being introduced. Recruitment period starting October 27th. A brand new character, chat. There is a brand new character coming out that you can pull for, a brand new 5-star trekker. Now, she's fucking hot, but at the same time, where do you have the currency to pull for her? Right? Is that what we're going to use the 40 pulls for? That's not enough to guarantee her. No. So I said, either way, like disregarding the new character, okay? Disregarding the new character its entirety. I said this was a band-aid fix. And then this right here, chat. My tweet about that being a band-aid fix was actually screenshotted. I love when people take my tweet. Not only do they take my tweet, chat, but they purposefully do not click the show more button, where I elaborate on why I believe it's a band-aid fix. No, because that would not fit their agenda. No, it wouldn't. No. What we are going to do here today is we're going to obscure the majority of the explanation as to why he believed it was a band-aid fix, and just pretty much state it was a band-aid fix for much larger issues so we can hate. Not surprised. No, not surprised at all. Now, let's go ahead here and read what he stated. Stix is straight up being a hater, okay? This is on the Philippines page, chat. The Stellasaura Philippines page that has 4,500 members. Stix is straight up being a hater. I don't know if y'all agree with that. Me trying to provide constructive criticism and constructive feedback to make the game better is me being a straight up hater. The guy is purposefully withholding information so his agenda won't crumble. Purposefully withholding him. I have stated my thoughts without restriction, chat. Stellanite Dust is not the only thing YoStar have in store. YoStar also have events. Wow. In a shocking turn of events, they have them too. They have events. Wowie. This is not a band-aid solution. The devs listened. The devs giving a few dozen 10 polls, chat, is them listening to all the feedback and criticisms the game had. This is not a band-aid solution. Haters like Stix don't like that their solution was not followed. They created events. They did. Whoa, they created events. My God. And you know the funniest part, chat, okay? Before we delve into this, before we go any further into this, I just want you to look at what this thing says right here. This thing right here. Because this is going to be important for what's about to follow. Okay, you see what that says right there? You want to know why comments were disabled? Let's read through some of these comments, okay? 211 comments, chat. 211 comments. Imagine that you have a guy who genuinely wants the game to fix the problems, and then there's you who gets fooled so easily by bare minimum band-aid fixes that don't solve the major issue. The top comment, chat, with 104 likes, thumbs up, is telling this 4,500 community Facebook page that he is an idiot. Oh my God. How do people even have such a strong allegiance to the game already? It's been out for like a week. I don't know, man. I re-downloaded Stella Sora right now because of this Facebook post. There's no event that gives currency as of right now over 7 days after release. Okay. I haven't played it in 2 days. I logged in 2 days ago to check something. Other than that, I have not. But let's keep going through. It says 50 likes, by the way, chat, this comment. Bro's talking like he's on YoStar's payroll. You're defending them like they feeding your family or something. Ain't nobody withholding info. You're just too dense to realize a band-aid fix when it's bleeding right in front of you. Chill out. Corporate Crusader. They ain't gonna send you a thank you note and 10 free polls for all that meat writing. Shit! Oh my God! Damn! Dude, I can feel that burn from all the way over here. I think this has got to be the most dick-sucking post for a game I've seen in a while. You really need to follow up on your reading. Go actually analyze the gacha system in the descriptions of the game. It's absolutely garbage. This game's events are super lacking. The development does not care about improving the quality of the game. But he's right. This is a fourth comment, by the way, with 93 likes, chat. 93. He's right. Just some polls will not fix the game. The devs just don't care about players' complaints. You see, I can see why the comments are turned off. The comments are turned off because this Facebook page tried pushing an agenda, or at the very least, whoever this person is on the Facebook page tried pushing this agenda, and nobody is hearing it, man. Nobody agrees with them. Who cast Firaga? Yeah, someone needs a Kuraga here, chat. But he's right. This is a band-aid solution. It's like you ordered a ramen but got the instant one. He's right. What do you mean? How much do events give you? 600? Do you even know how much they charge for a 10 pull? 1,400 gems, bro. It's a lot. Imagine you're pulling 80 copies. It's 11,200. Why cry? Quit and don't ever come back, you gambling freaks. The gacha is stingy as hell. If this bribery is enough to make people satisfied and shut up about the core problems, then I have serious concerns about this community. This is why I don't go to Facebook groups. Yeah, no, I know. But this is a 4,000 follower page. And they are trying so strongly to push this agenda, this narrative that I'm a bad guy for making this statement, that it's a band-aid fix. Their own community agrees with me. Their own community is so strongly on my side, as you can see by the hundreds of likes on all these different comments, right? They are so strongly on my side, and they all so strongly believe the same thing that I do, that they are defending me. There are people here, I guarantee, don't actually know who I am. There are people that don't know the stuff that I've said, right? In support of the game or not in support of the game. But they see this right here, that it's a band-aid fix for a much larger issue, and they all immediately agree. They are all just blasting this guy, so he had to turn the comments off for the entire post. But he's right. This is just short-term bribery. They fixed nothing. Bootlickers will always bootlick. They fixed nothing. It's a band-aid solution. This won't fix the game in the long run. If it's a compensation until they fix the rates, sure, but so far we're not seeing that. The moment you label someone giving and actively promoting changes within the game to make it better a hater, then you have already lost the plot, little bro. Advocating for good changes in-game will only benefit anyone, even you. Stop shilling for companies. I think we could just end this entire thing right there, right? Stacey's a person who just says what's on his mind, no bullshit. It's nice to hear from him. That is what I'm here for, man. Now, it's so coincidental that so many people are blaming Stix like it's his fault. People are hating on it for Yostar's bullshit. They should be hating on Yostar, yeah. They should be. They sponsored me to help generate hype, then release the game, made no attempt to reach out. Yeah, but it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me that had this situation, chat. So y'all know Braxphone, right? He's a good friend of mine, content creator. So he made a tweet going over the Stella Sora issue as well. So look at his tweet right here. I signed a sponsor with Stella Sora during the beta for the game before all the launch changes. The ads were done for weeks and sitting there until specified post dates, which were after the issues blew up. I cannot take them down. I also may have to pay the brand. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not the only content creator that has spoken about this. I'm not the only content creator that has had issues with the alteration of game content in the original version that we played and did content for, and then the version that was changed after the fact. There are multiple different content creators that have all said the same thing, and that have all suffered in the same way. This is not me. I'm just a person that's speaking about it. It is my responsibility. Like, I don't care. They paid me thousands of dollars for that. I don't care if they ultimately end up saying, you know what, Stix, we're pulling out. Like, we don't want to pay you anymore. I will cover that in a video. I will make my thousands off of, you know, covering the entire situation. You best bet I will. And how shady they are if they do that. But at the end of the day, I am the kind of person that will sit here and tell you everything that is going on. I do not lie about the things that I talk about. I do not fabricate information. Sometimes I get things wrong. You know, I'm not infallible. Sometimes I say something wrong. Sometimes I get a rate wrong or a number wrong. I'm not perfect. But at the same time, I sit here and I tell you what is going on. I will sit here and I will explain things to you. I will elaborate on everything, and I will be real with all of you 100% of the time. Whether I'm sponsored, whether I'm unsponsored, it doesn't matter. And that is where I think this comment like solidifies exactly what I do. When someone is promoting changes, when someone is trying to make a game better, it is labeled a hater. You've already lost the argument. Advocating for good changes in a game only benefits everyone. And that is what I want to do. Again, I've never said the game is going to EOS. I've never said the game should EOS. I've never said the game sucks. I've never said the game is bad. I've done nothing but say the game is good, but ... they need to address these specific issues. I've always said the issues with monetization are my problem, not the game. The game is good. The game is fun. But then people misrepresent what I say. So they are trying to like attack my character and create this horrible narrative like I'm a terrible person trying to destroy the game. And you know what? All these people can see the truth. All these people understand what I'm trying to do. And it is destroying the fake narrative that they have created to the point where they now, that 4,500 Facebook page, disabled comments. They're embarrassed. They don't want anyone else talking about it. No, they don't want anyone else disagreeing with them. These people need to stop their brain rot. They do. Understand the defensive mentality people have for gacha games? I don't either. You don't defend slop. You don't defend shit. That's it. How do I think they can fix the issues? Because gacha rates cannot be changed realistically because it'll cause more problems. Well, on the one hand, they shouldn't have changed them to begin with. I mean, that's one of the causes of upset. I think one of the main causes of upset. But how they could adjust and reassure players that everything is going to ultimately even out is that if they decided to double the rates for everything, if they decided to double the cost from 1,500 to 3,000, if they decided to, you know, make things more difficult for players to attain, you just double everything else, right? So if you were going to have events that gave 600 premium currency, you now have events that give 1,200 premium currency. That makes a difference. If you were going to give away, like Nikkei as an example, right? Every event, you get 10 limited, 10 standard pulls that you do while doing the events in Nikkei. If they were going to do that in Stella Sora, you give 20 limited, 20 standard. You double the cost of everything to make up the difference for doubling the cost of the rates in the gacha from the beta. That's it. You make a formal address to your community. We understand that you guys are unhappy, unsatisfied with the state of the gacha right now, and that is because we directly doubled the rates. So because we are unable to adjust the rates, we're going to double the rate of rewards moving forward everywhere, on every event, in every way. We're going to double the compensation for downtime. We're going to double the compensation for, maintenance. We're going to double the rewards you get for milestones. Everything is doubled. Now everything fits, is equally balanced, and everyone is happy, because that is the same thing as adjusting the rates, the same thing as having the rate. So that's a very easy way of dealing with it. Increasing from 1,500 to 3,000 was really bad. It was very bad. And if they are like legally unable to adjust the rates, then they just double everything else. It's the same thing. Highly doubt they're gonna do that. I don't either. That would require the company admit they messed up. That's very true. But someone asked, how do I think they should fix it? That right there will fix it. If players issue with the game are the rates and you doubled it from beta, then you either half it or double everything else. Problem solved. It's very telling how much money they're losing too. They got their second limited banner within 2 weeks of launch and doing swimsuit skins in October. I mean, yeah. They have the big titty waifu, which looks incredible, by the way. Phenomenal looking character. They have the swimsuit as well, which is great. Honestly, that's awesome. But yeah, they were definitely hurting financially. Can't change the rates now. No, I know they can't change the rates, which is why I said I think they need to double the rewards for everything. If they just double everything else, then doubling the rates was meaningless. So it's that easy. But at the end of the day, this entire community, when your entire community is telling you that you're an idiot, that Stix is right, and that this is a band-aid fix, and you have to disable your comments because you were so overwhelmed at the people defending me, like, you're wrong. Stop being an idiot. Stop sucking their cock, okay? And just admit that it's not in a good state, and hope. Try to use your community to further influence them. Blame Yostar. Don't blame me. Like, just don't blame me. I'm not responsible for this. I am trying to fix it. I am repeatedly bringing eyes and attention to these topics so they can be fixed, not to hate on them. Now, the fact that I happen to get views as a direct result of covering it, that's just a bonus for me, chat. That's just a bonus for me. It is awesome that I get to do this. I have a platform with which I can discuss it, and that I happen to get views while doing so. But is that really, is that my fault? Getting a little pocket money on the side? Yeah, exactly. I basically, this is just rewarding me for helping. At the end of the day, that's all it is. I am being rewarded for helping you guys. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment, so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.